pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone will please turn your cell phones off, turn your microphones on. Roll call.
Mayor Bain,
Here.
Councilor Anderson,
Here.
Councilor Baker,
Here.
Councilor Becker,
Here.
Councilor Scalisi,
Here.
Councilor Sherman. Here.
Okay, we have the regular meeting minutes of March 26th. Are there any changes?
I noticed that the end of the minutes didn't reflect my objection and differences of opinion than you had about the garden. So if we could add those back in.
Okay. I will look at the tape.
Okay, thank you.
Any other changes? Okay, those will be approved as amended. Visitors and delegations, we don't have anyone here tonight, so we'll move right into public comment. Is there anybody who'd like to make public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to management. 5A, Resolution 2018-8, signatory authorization on bank accounts. Andrea.
Yes, we had previously done a resolution with all of the accounts of Farmers State Bank, and we realized that we do have some CDs and also other bank accounts with Equitable, so this one will make us perfect with everybody, make everybody happy, so we're just asking to approve it.
Okay, we're looking for a motion to approve or deny on resolution 2018-8. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval?
Have a second? Discussion? Andrea, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Bain,
Yes.
Councilor Anderson,
Yes.
Councilor Baker,
Yes.
Councilor Becker,
Yes.
Councilor Scalisi,
Yes.
Councilor Sherman. Yes.
Okay, moving on to 5B, proclamation 2018-1, April Child Abuse Prevention Month. Suzanne.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Brown from the Morgan County Department of Human Services, and I'm here to receive the proclamation, and I believe it got sent to you and
Yes.
have you sign it. Read it and sign it, please.
Well, we've got to have a motion
Oh, okay.
to approve before I can read the
Okay.
proclamation, so,
Sorry.
okay. Do I have a motion to introduce the proclamation?
I move to introduce the proclamation 2018-1, April Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve or deny?
So moved?
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Andrea, roll call vote, please.
Okay. Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Baker,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Now I can legally read the proclamation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, proclamation 2018-1, a proclamation affirming April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas children are the key to the state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life. While children are our most precious resource, they are also our most vulnerable. Whereas children have a right to thrive, learn, and grow to their full potential, and whereas the prevention of child abuse and neglect strengthens Colorado's families and communities and ensures the opportunity for children to develop in healthy, trusting families, schools, and neighborhoods, and where that consequently builds the foundation of society, and whereas the City of Brush is currently implementing initiatives for improving the safety and well-being of children and families across Colorado, and whereas we must come together as partners to keep children safe, ensure that the voices of our children are heard by all, and extend a helping hand to children, and whereas each of us plays a role in the prevention of child abuse and neglect, we encourage anyone concerned about the safety and well-being to report to, and it gives a phone number, 1-844-CO4-KIDS. Whereas I call upon all community members in the City of Brush to provide safe, stable, and nurturing relationships and environments for our children, free of violence, abuse, and neglect, we can ensure that Colorado's children will grow to their full potential as the next generation of leaders helping to secure the future of this community, state, and nation. And therefore, I, Charles R. Bain, Mayor of the City of Brush, do hereby proclaim April 2018 Child Abuse Prevention Month, approved and adopted this 9th day of April 2018. And
Thank you, sir.
very happy to do that. Thank you very
I
much.
appreciate it.
Thank
I'd like to just give a quick thank you to the city of Brush and especially the Brush Police Department who always goes out with us to ensure our safety. So thank you all.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to 5C, Community Garden. Monty?
Yep, on the community garden, we did have a discussion at a previous work session, and council gave us guidance to include the community garden as part of the city's recreation master plan. And so we just wanted to formalize that and get that direction on record from council to include that into the recreation master plan.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move
go ahead.
I'll move to include the community garden on the city's recreation master plan.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second discussion.
Is there
Okay.
any reason why, acreage-wise or any other reason why we shouldn't be doing this? We have water, we have place, we have desire, we have, I think, everything in place to do it.
Well, I think
As the
if we
city.
included into the recreation master plan, we identify those locations, and the goal is to get a permanent site so that we're not in a position of moving again.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Any other discussion? Andrea, roll call vote.
Counselor Baker,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Mayor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson.
Yes.
Moving on to finance. Need a motion to approve disbursements and payroll for March 26th through April 9th, 2018 totaling $478,502.68.
I move for approval.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Andrea, roll call vote, please.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman,
Yes.
Mayor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Baker.
Yes.
Moving on to staff reports, Police Department, Travis.
Looks like it's gonna be a short one tonight.
We're on record pace.
It had to have been you.
I know.
He didn't touch it.
We had 474 calls for service over the last 2 weeks. We hosted a Cora CCJRA class. The instructor was Barbara Case King. We had a pursuit last night. There's no immediate danger to the community. We got a few phone calls and concerns. As hard as the guy was wanting to get away, he's probably gotten away. We know who he is. The sheriff office knows who he is, but we just haven't apprehended him yet. So, and then last week, many of us participated in the mock disaster drill. It was amazing to see how everything can actually come together and work in unison, even though you don't know what the right table and left table's doing, but it all worked in unison. It was really eye-opening. I got to work with the National Guard, different entities. It was just amazing. Learned a lot of different aspects, and we've done a lot of things quite well in addition to that. So.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to City Clerk, Andrea.
Okay. I'm going to start coordinating with Morgan County, working on the 2020 census. So you'll start seeing some advertisement and movement to educate everyone on getting ready for this next census. Your calendar events, the only things to really highlight are the 26th is our Arbor Day celebration, and I'll need an RSVP by May 14th for the CML District Spring meeting hosted by Sterling. Other than that, that's it.
Okay, moving on to City Administrator, Monty.
Okay, quite a few things this evening. The first one, I just wanted to add to the chief's discussion on the National Guard exercise. Great job, Chief. You did a great job coordinating for Brush on that. We had a few of our officers that were able to help participate in that. We also had the mayor attended on a day to go through and experience what an EOC or an Emergency Operations Center looks like. Dan also made it out there for the first day for about 3/4 of the day. And we took some of our key staff there too, just to get that experience. But it was pretty eye-opening, the technology that they use this day and age in regards to planning and responding to all these disasters. Very, very new and highly sophisticated equipment. There's even some airplanes or some helicopters that would fly over and take real-time images of Fort Morgan where the simulated tornado occurred, and giving you real-time data of what's going on, so you can not even leave the room and you know what's happening around the rest of the area. But it was actually a very large exercise, and the thing that was really important about it was we had all law enforcement from throughout the county working together on it, and that's one of the things we have to practice, because when a large exercise happens, it's not just one entity that responds, it's multiple entities, law enforcement, first responders. Part of our role was even just saying that we're here to help Fort Morgan if a disaster like that occurred. So we were there just saying, if you need help, we can provide certain dump trucks, loaders, those type of things, help clear debris. And out here in northeastern Colorado, we're all relatively small communities, so we're limited on what we have available. So great exercise. I was gonna also mention the hospitals, both in Fort Morgan and Brush partook in this. And what was important there is that all of our agencies, we have requirements to test and be prepared. And so it worked for a lot of entities. So Sheriff's Department, the hospitals, school district in Fort Morgan, our law enforcement. So there's a lot of folks around, and it ended up with about 60 or 80 National Guard folks staying out at the fairgrounds. Those soldiers came into town and they did some mock scenarios around town and even participated in some static displays of equipment for the kids at some of the schools in Brush. So overall, great exercise. And most importantly, in our city priorities that the council approved, that's one of them, is increasing our emergency preparedness in case the disaster ever happens to Brush. So we get to check that box that we're moving forward on some of the priorities that council has set. Next item is the Colorado Water Conservation Board Beaver Creek study. And this is the study that they're working on Beaver Creek, looking at alternatives to assist in helping reduce the floodplain and floodway, the size of it. And they're on their final alternative as far as a study. And I'm guessing probably in the next month, maybe 2 months, I'm gonna be inviting them here to present to council. So all your questions, you can ask them there at that point in time. So that one's coming up. Also at a previous meeting, I'd given an update on the solar project. We're hoping to get a solar community garden, solar garden for the community. And anyways, the sites that we had, after they did some studying on those, they decided they were just they were cost prohibitive, so they opted not to come to our area. So we're gonna keep some properties available in case some of those discussions start back up again. One thing that is very important is on the Brush Agri Park. This is the old feed lot. The council approved a master plan. We've had some discussions on selling off a portion of the property to a potential business. That's becoming more reality now, so we're getting closer. In the near future, we'll be requesting for an executive session to talk more about the terms and more detailed information on what's happening out there. But the annexation is complete at this point in time. We're starting to work on development agreements with this business, and so we're gonna be bringing the council members more apprised of the situation as we get a little bit closer. Economic development wise, there's been a lot more discussion about the old prison. A lot of companies coming in, looking at it for all different uses. And so our part is to explain the zoning and any type of special use permits that they might need. And the mayor and I visited with one potential buyer of the prison, very good tour of the prison, and so whatever we can do to help get a good viable business in there, we're trying to do. Housing seems to be taking off. Housing's been an issue in Brush for a while. We currently have, over on Howell Avenue, we have a fourplex being constructed, so that's underway. And we've also been hearing more about some of the lots over in the Westwood addition, those ones selling. That's over by Beaver Valley and Applewood to the west. Some more of those lots are supposedly being sold, so we're expecting to have a little bit more building going on this year. In the near future, you're gonna be seeing a Verizon Tower, a public hearing coming up. And so, as Karen puts together her information on that, that'll be coming to city council. So you'll be hearing a little bit more about that soon. Last item is the hotel study that the council gave Tyler Purvis to move forward on. That's in final draft form. We received it today. We're gonna review that, and then we're gonna be getting that to council in the near future. That's all I have.
Okay,
What
thank you.
was, may I ask a couple questions? What was cost prohibitive about this solar?
The electricity. You have to have certain infrastructure in place to get the electricity to and from. And so out in that vicinity,
Were you
it's,
talking south, out in that small acreage?
that one is floodplain, floodway
Oh,
issues there.
okay.
Yeah,
The ones at the feedlot is more the cost of increasing the capacity of the lines out there to accept.
So would it be possible if we co-opt with Excel somehow?
Well, that's working with Xcel Energy already. And so we do have this other potential business going out there that will be putting some of the infrastructure in place.
Okay.
So when they go out there, it might be a better time to reapproach and see if
Okay.
timing's a little bit better.
okay, moving on to mayor and council reports. Council have any reports?
I have a couple things. One of, in our packet tonight, I believe there was the East Martin County Hospital Health Fair. Unfortunately, Joanne isn't here, but this is really, I wanna take the opportunity to thank, the personnel that got this back in Brush. This is near and dear to my heart. So even though Joanne isn't here, thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Monty, Loranda Packard, and the HR team. And am I forgetting anyone?
Karen.
And Karen. And,
I think we're-
And then put it all back in-house, right?
and Andrea.
I believe that puts everything back in Brush. Yeah. And I think there were some obstacles to overcome, and Joanne's not here, but we got it because of insurance. It was easier to do it out of town, but I don't know how she arranged it, but it's back in Brush. Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks to everybody who got that accomplished.
Anything else?
Mr. Mayor, I got one final thing.
Okay,
From the schedule that Andrea put out, it looks like we're not having a council meeting on the 28th. I don't know if there's been any formal action by motion to cancel that regular meeting. If not, I think we ought to do that.
or,
I was
I'm
gonna
not,
put it on the first meeting in May, just to see if we had any ordinances.
Okay,
That's kind of what I was thinking.
all right. Well, we ought to take some action to cancel it at some point.
We will in May. How's that?
okay,
That's good.
Okay.
okay,
One more thing, Rick.
okay,
Is yesterday I had, two more things actually, now that I think about it. Yesterday, I was driving around on the west end of town and the controversial house, I wanna say that was Yosemite.
yeah, I think that's right.
Wow,
It looks better, it does.
yeah. And they've moved right along, and I haven't heard from anybody, who came in and complained, but my impression is that, it's gonna work.
Yeah, I had the same impression looking at it. It looks much better than it did when they brought it in here.
Yay.
You said two things.
The other one is, somebody brought it to my attention, a teacher, she'd been talking to parents who have noticed that the kids who walk between Beaver Creek and the high school, kids have a mind of their own about how and where they walk. And it's not necessarily on the bike paths where they would be safe. She brought up that maybe speed bumps or more patrol. But I'm thinking that we would have a new high school and middle school. So by 2019, maybe it would be our opportunity to take a look at the area between it will be Thompson and Beaver Creek, the new high school and middle school, and see how the traffic could be improved for the kids.
I know that-
Safety.
Yeah, I know there is, I think the school district is looking at doing a traffic study with regard to the flow of traffic with the new building they're gonna be putting up, so, and maybe that's something they could look at too. Okay, anything else? I gotta give a plug, and I may not say this right, the Brush, is it the Brush Chamber Foundation for the movie theater? If you tried to go to the movie this weekend, you might've got turned away. I did, and I got there early. But I mean, that's really a testament to the new chairs, probably a combination of new chairs and a great movie, but I think they sold out 3 times this weekend, and I know Dan Scalisi has done a lot of work down there. Dana has done a tremendous amount of work scheduling volunteers and things like that, so hats off to them. It's looking very good there. Anything else? We don't have a work session tonight, but we have an orientation starting after a meeting. So, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, we're adjourned.